As the autumn leaves fall, the veil of night drops. Spooks and specters come out to play. The laughter of a child hides in the shadows, and in your mind's eye dark things dwell. It is the time of Halloween. I remember when Halloween used to be an event. You used to wait and plan with such anticipation that you would be trembling with excitement when it came. Every Halloween, YTV used to have a marathon of scary shows, like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps. They would make an event of it with contests, mini shorts with the YTV PJs like PJ Fresh Phil. It would start around 6 and last until 1 a.m. So even if you went out to do your trick-or-treating, you could still catch the final half. When I tricked-or-treated, I would never miss a moment. It seemed every house I went to was watching it, so we could get quick glimpses while collecting our candy. That would help us catch up. Are You Afraid of the Dark was an anthology series. Each episode had a different campfire story or urban legend told by members of the Midnight Society, who were a group of kids that meet up in the middle of the night to exchange tales of bone-chilling terror. Afraid of the Dark was a Canadian-produced show for Nickelodeon. It wasn't very scary, and the acting was at times horrible, but it still is a nostalgia classic. Some of the ideas were interesting, and they could occasionally provide a good scare. I remember being freaked out by the episode, The Tale of Super Specs, with strange shadowy figures pointing at everyone. It also had an ending you weren't really expecting. That was a great thing about this series. Not every story had a happy ending. It didn't rely on your typical kids' show formula. They could every now and then broaden away from that. The lead to the Midnight Society, Gary, is played by Ross Hull. You may remember him from such shows as Student Bodies, Due South, and now CBC Ottawa as a weatherman. Goosebumps was very similar to Afraid of the Dark. They had different producers, but had a related look and feel. One difference I found particularly annoying was the plot twist endings in almost every episode. People attacked Shyamalan for his plot twists when our kids were subjected to.
Don't you get it? It's not the typewriter, it's me! I have the power! Maybe all I have to do is think, and the wall will be gone! But do me a favor, think that! I do! I have the power!
What a twist!
Goosebumps was based after the R.L. Stine books, which I used to order from our school's Scholastic Book Club. My favorite Goosebumps series were Night of the Living Dummy. I've always had a thing with ventriloquist dummies. They freak me out. I'm not alone in this. Many of my friends are as well. They are seen a lot in horror films like Dead Silence and have even shown up as a villainous creature in Doctor Who. The other series that was a favorite was Monster Blood. I ordered the complete series from our book club. It even came with a vial of Monster Blood slime, which I ate. These two shows also starred several young faces who are now big names like Hayden Christensen, Ryan Gosling, Jules Stady, Mia Krishner, Melissa Joan Hart, Neve Campbell, Alicia Cuthbert, as well as veterans like Charles S. Dutton, Frank Gorshin, and Adam West. Not only was Dark Knight limited to Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, several other specials were shown. One that I remember is the Garfield Halloween special in Erie, Indiana. Aside from Dark Knight, Turner Classic Movies has classic horror movie marathons. Some are from the Hammer Horror and Amicus Library. My favorites are the Dracula and Frankenstein series, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. All their bloody gothic goodness is a must for every horror fan. If you come across these, I suggest you watch them. You won't be disappointed. The sets, acting, and general cinematography are amazing with these films. Also, another series I recommend is the original Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror Movies. They are based after the comic book series published by EC. I still have some of these comics, and some of these stories are not for the faint of heart. The first one I read had the death of a child. No one is safe in these comics, and you never know what to expect. It is full of character ranging from the gross, horrific, and downright disturbing goodness. Halloween is very significant in our household. Every year we follow certain traditions. We hold a special Samhain dinner. It consists of Cornish game hens, rice, starfruit, cheeses, crackers, and various other finger foods. We tell spooky stories to each other around campfires. When I was a kid, we used to hear stories that were based on urban legends or just fun stories, like this story told by our good old Uncle Christopher.
Hi, kids. Sit down, won't you please, and let Uncle Christopher tell you bone-chilling tales of horror and terror. The Ghost with One Black Eye. Once there was a family who lived in the middle of nowhere, out in the boonies, the sticks. And there was a mother, a father, a teenager, and a baby. One night, as the family was sitting at dinner, the baby said, "I want my apple juice." So the father said, "I'll get your apple juice, but it's in the basement." I don't know why they keep the apple juice in the basement. It seems inconvenient to do that. But anyway, the father opens the door, walks down the stairs, and hears, "I am the ghost with one black eye." So the dad screams. He runs up the stairs, he bursts through the door, and he says, "There's a ghost down there." The mother says, "I'll get the apple juice." So she opens the door, she walks down the stairs, and she hears, "I am the ghost with one black eye." She screams, runs up the stairs, bursts through the door, and says, "There's a ghost down there." So the teenager says, "I'll go." So she opens the door, walks down the stairs. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen. "I am the ghost with one black eye." She screams, runs up the stairs, bursts through the door, and says, "There's a ghost down there." Finally, the baby says, "Look, if I want this apple juice, I guess I gotta go get it myself." So the baby opens the door. I don't know how the baby does this, because it's a baby. But the baby opens the door, walks down the stairs, and hears, "I am the ghost with one black eye." So then the baby says, "You're gonna have two black eyes if I don't get my apple juice." The ghost screams, runs up the stairs, bursts through the door, and runs out of the house. Baby gets the apple juice, settles down. Everyone enjoys dinner. The end.
Thanks, Uncle Chris. There were a few games such as bobbing for apples, or duking as it's called back home, that we played every year. Bloody Mary is another. Found it interesting how every year we would try it and nothing happened. What were we expecting? Apple paring is where everyone gets an apple, fruit knife, and a plate, with all apples being as close as possible in size and quality. They would each have to peel their apple, with the winner being the one who produces the longest and narrowest peeling. In times past, the person then threw the apple peel over their left shoulder, and the letter which the peel resembled was the first initial of the person's future husband or wife. Snap apple is where you tie strings around apples and suspend them from the ceiling, a tree branch, or even use the washing line. You may need to adjust the length once your players arrive so they are at mouth height or lower. Each player must attempt to eat the entire apple without touching it with their hands. Another prize can be given to the person who gets the first bite out of their apple. It is quite tricky, and you may want to change apples for donuts for younger children. Jack-o'-lanterns are a true love of mine. Every time I'm in a place that allows having a backyard garden, I need to grow pumpkins. My garden never seems complete without my little orange friends. One year I was given a jack-o'-lantern. I wanted to sleep with it like a teddy bear, after my mom explained that I could crush the pumpkin in my sleep, or far worse, I could accidentally stab myself on the stem. She let me keep it by my bedside, and using a small flashlight, she allowed it to be my nightlight. To this day, I remember the face of that pumpkin had as it watched over me as I slept. Every year we go and buy as many as we can. Then we set up the fire pit to burn some leaves, draw out our faces, and carve away. It's a gooey fun mess of a time. We save the seeds for roasting later. So delicious. As day fades into night, we roam out into the dark for some trick-or-treating. When we return, we feast upon the food we had prepared earlier in the day, and we dance around the fire out back. We also take the time to celebrate what this time of year is all about, when the veil between the world of the dead and our world is at its thinnest, taking time to remember all those who have died. This is the real reason why Halloween or Samhain is important. This is the night when the gateway between our world and the spirit world is thinnest. Tonight is a night to call out to those who came before us. Tonight I honor my ancestors. Spirits of my fathers and mothers, I call to you and welcome you to join me for this night. You watch over me always, protecting and guiding me, and tonight I thank you. Your blood runs in my veins, your spirit is in my heart, your memories are in my soul. With the gift of remembrance, I remember all of you. You are dead but never forgotten, and you live on within me and within those who are yet to come.